In this video, Annie's gonna yap a lot, mostly about a burnout, artistic and mental, and some experience and tips on how to fight it. Hope it will be useful. Enjoy! Hello everyone, welcome back to Drawn by Annie channel, where I'm showcasing my art process as well as yapping about different topics. Grab your drinks and let's get started. At first, I thought that I'm just lazy, because most of the time people are telling you this when they don't see a full picture. It doesn't even necessarily need to be addressed directly at you, it's just like everyone around you are so productive and you are just kind of sitting there, unable to do a thing. Sound familiar? For me, it was an everyday experience when I was a teenager trying to survive school and music school. And even though I'm not a teenager anymore and I don't study in school, it has been a recurring event for me. And it's only natural at some point to start questioning yourself, what is wrong with me? Am I broken? Why nobody else seems to struggle as much as I do? The biggest irony is more expectations means more pressure, means less productivity, leading to more guilt, more stress, and the loop kind of closes here. This, ladies and gentlemen, is a burnout. And it comes from many sources apparently. Now that I've been a little bit more literate about it, it usually comes from pushing our limits too much for too long. Frankly speaking, this is me all my life up until this moment. Yeah, I know. This is no good for me. I'm fully aware of it, but I can only do so much about it. For those of you who have been around my channel for a while, you know I'm a recently diagnosed person of ASD and ADHD, aka AUDHD, which is by the way different from only having ASD or ADHD, because combining those two actually is a whole new difficulty level for life. Like, imagine your brain is kind of divided by two. One half wants routines, rules, clear boundaries and instructions, and interprets this as safety in order to function properly, and whatever changes drives yourself crazy. And the other half wants novelty, impulsion, new experiences, and wants urgency to function on a base level. And now combine those two halves together into one brain. How would you feel like? Well, let me tell you, it is exhausting. Every day I'm waking up and it's a roulette, whether I'm more autistic or more ADHD on that day. And there are like 100 million different factors that can affect it, from biological body stuff like hormones and to external factors like covering my basic needs, or something completely out of my control like weather. You know, for the longest time I was suffering from weather changes, because when I used to live in a country that I come from, one day could be having all four fucking seasons, man. In the morning you have summer, and then later you have autumn, then you have winter and spring. So it could be raining, it could be windy, and then suddenly it starts freaking sunshine and suddenly there's plus 20 degrees outside. As if weather itself has ADHD. And I don't know how, but my body reacts to any changes whatsoever. And of course, my everyday life activities are affected by it. And yet the whole world still expects me to function like normal every day, while I'm trying to freaking fight my own body for survival. Honestly speaking, thinking and saying things out loud kind of makes me proud of myself, because even though I have all of these difficulties, I still manage things. I'm not gonna lie, I am struggling a lot every day. But still, my house is clean. I have a hot food every day. Sometimes I even manage to go to gym and do some exercises. But most importantly, I'm doing these videos every day, little by little, task by task, sketch after sketch, and all of that to get a couple of views and maybe one comment. You know, sometimes I feel like I am a mad person, because I'm still keeping this hope alive that my art will be out there and inspire someone to do something similar, or something even more beautiful than I do. Or they will just, you know, look at the artwork and smile a little bit and think about something nice and cute. And maybe their mood will lighten and they will be more polite in a cafe when ordering their coffee in the morning. And then barista will pass on this good mood to someone else. And you know, maybe the kindness will keep on going like this, round and round, affecting more and more people. Because in the end of the day, I do art to spark joy in myself and maybe a couple of more people that see it. And I'm grateful for this opportunity, honestly, even if it's just one person. And those kind of thoughts kind of motivate me to keep going and keep doing what I do. do. So, in order to keep my mission going, I need to know how to overcome the struggles and how to fight those burnout episodes, let's say, because more often than not, they are happening to me on a wrong time. And I'm sure there is no right time for this anyway. It's like sickness. You're not asking for it, right? You kind of get it whenever and you have to fight through it. So for me, usually, burnout is different from just being tired, you know. If I'm tired, I'm going to bed or I'm resting a little bit, like a couple of hours or maybe a day. And then I'm waking up next day full of energy, you know. That's it. Nothing more, nothing less. But with the burnout, it can last. And that time sucks big time. Like if we imagine ourselves as a candles and we are constantly burning to light up everything around us, eventually wax will run out, right? And there's just no fuel to burn further. So we gotta recharge. And of course, for everyone, it will look different, both the burnout and the recharging process. But there are general things that I guess are gonna help everyone to an extent. I'm gonna share whatever helped me during those sucking times. So maybe it will help you too. First and foremost, I feel a burnout when I want to draw. I have time, I have resource, I have idea, but no matter how hard I try, it just doesn't click, you know. I'm looking at my sketches and all of them look wonky to me, and no matter how many times I erase, it just doesn't feel right. I think that every artist had this feeling and it's horrible. So this means I need to step away. One of the best advice that I got from my friend Yara, she told me just stop drawing, don't think about it, don't do it, just step out, do something completely different. Something that you're not used to doing, even better, because that will kind of spark your brain circuits in a new way and it will activate neurons in a completely new pathways, especially if you're learning something new. It doesn't even have to be perfect or anything. There doesn't need to be any result, any good result especially. The main thing that you need to do is to have fun. You can go somewhere new, explore a new place, have a cup of coffee or tea in a cafe where you haven't been before. Even seeing a new place will help your brain kind of reset and get energy flowing inside your body and brain. And that's exactly what we want to achieve. Second thing, if you feel like you have hundreds of millions ideas, like I do sometimes, but you are burnt out, you cannot do anything because you're tired or it just simply doesn't click, all you're gonna do is just write it down somewhere where you can come back to it later, just for the sake for you not to forget the ideas. That's it. No pressure, no performance, nothing. Just fixing the idea on a paper without having to execute it, so there is literally no pressure for it. Write it down, forget about it, keep it for later. More often than not, I think that this idea is brilliant and I want to execute it the same moment that I write it down. But then I step out, I take some rest, I reset my brain, and then when I see all of those ideas that I thought were brilliant were actually so floppy, and there's no wonder that they didn't click at all. So my brain was just, hyper fixated there for no reason. And it's nice to take a pause and let that dopamine rush and hormones to settle so you can kind of think with a clearer mind. Third most important thing, burnout usually happens when you haven't been nice to your body. What does that mean? Lack of sleep, bad food, bad habits in general. Maybe you're like me, addicted to sugar and caffeine. So oftentimes I'm working on a caffeine and sugar only. Literally, I'm waking up after a short sleep, excited to go and draw. And what do? I pour myself 2 giant jugs of coffee, get something sweet like a cookie or a chocolate, and I sit and draw for 10 hours straight without stepping out, breathing, touching grass, whatever. Nothing gets done. It's just me working. And then I'm asking myself questions. Oh, what happened? Why am I so burnt out? Why am I so tired? Blah, blah, blah. Well, no shit, Sherlock. You've been hyperfixating on this sketchbook for 15 days, 10 hours a day, and I wonder fucking why you're burnt out. Yeah, sometimes you gotta parent yourself, especially if you have some neurodivergencies like I do. Usually my husband helps me keep on track, and some responsibilities like housekeeping and cooking, because frankly speaking, sometimes I just don't feel hungry at all. Sometimes I skip my washroom breaks, till a very last moment. Hashtag only ADHD things. Yeah, don't be like me. This is not good for you. And as you can see, it's a good fuel for a burnout. Reality check is important, so keep those friends and family close by to remind you that you are not a god and you have a body and you are human and you need rest, however it may look like. So, a little recap. If you start to feel symptoms of burnout, like lack of productivity, procrastination, or inability to start a task, step out, take a break, breathe some fresh air, have a cup of water, change activity if you can. Second thing, a reality check. Are you doing too much? Have you been over-fixated on a singular task for over than 10 hours, for example? If the answer is yes, take a break. You are a human being, not a god. Step out of your workspace, forget about work for some time. Your brain needs it. And last but not least, check your basic needs. Have you slept well? Have you eaten any food other than fast food and caffeine and sugar? Your body needs nutrition, whole foods, meats, if you're a vegetarian, any source of protein from plants, eggs, dairy, whatever. You know your diet and your food preferences more than anyone. Get yourself something nice, something nutritious, something healthy. This amazing tool of yours named body needs some maintenance. Some light physical activity is always good option too. Take a walk or go to gym, light exercises, some fun way to move your body. Thank me later. As someone who is recurrently struggling, I can tell you that I'm using all of those strategies and I still get burnouts. Because you know what? I'm a human. I'm imperfect and sometimes I lose track of things. That's perfectly normal. You don't have to feel guilty for it. The main thing that I know about you is you got this. I'm proud of you. I encourage you to do it. And you can share your progress with me. Let's grow together. Because remember, here is a safe space. Here we listen and we don't judge. Anyway, this has been a very long yapping here. I hope it wasn't too tiring for you, but Auntie Annie really cares about you because you're precious and I'm happy if you're around here. You know, I haven't said a single word about my artwork here, but if you enjoyed the process of its creation, let me know down in the comments. I could use any support, honestly. At this point, I feel like I'm posting into the void and it's not even looking at me. So if you can do this social media stuff like liking, sharing and subscribing to the channel, I will be very grateful. And as always, I'm wishing you a fantastic day ahead and hope to see you in the next video. Bye bye!